Guys, DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main site here on Wednesday. We had a pretty solid 8-game slate. First, real quick, let's see how I'm currently doing tonight. So, pretty solid start to the night, to be honest. So Alex Len, he's a thumbnail to my video for a reason. I put up 50 fantasy points, a huge game for him. Jimmy Butler was on pace for a huge game, but Philadelphia blew him out, so only saw 3 quarters. So not terrible. And Jamal Murray, in the first half of play, has put up almost 28 fantasy points. So he's on pace for over 50. So we're in a pretty good spot. And then again, I told you guys in my video, I've really just been sticking to GPPs. So I went with the Chicago and the LA stack. So I got Levine in there with Wendell Carter Jr. and Bobby Portis. There was news that Robin Lopez would be out of the rotation. So I liked both bigs there for Chicago. I also liked Markin too, but I didn't want to play all 3. And then Lonzo and Kuzma I went with for the Lakers. So we'll see how that ends up doing. Right now, on pace for a pretty solid start. But again, a lot of people in stacked Atlanta OKC game did stay close. I was kind of hoping for the blowout. But Westbrook, Paul George, Schroeder did very well. And then they ran it back. A couple of the Hawks that I liked, Trae Young and Bembry, I did point out in my video, were both pretty solid plays. If Jeremy Lin got ruled out, he got ruled out. I kind of stuck with the Bulls and the Lakers stack. And I went pretty heavy tonight too, so hopefully it pays off. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so let's look into the slate for Wednesday. If it'll load, come on. Come on, DraftKings. Refresh it, see if that does it. There we go. Gee, sorry about that. All right, so obviously starting at the top here with Harden. I mean, in cash games, you had to play him. I know the price is all the way up now to 13K, but he's just putting up unbelievable numbers. So there's not really much more else to say about Harden. Cash games, just play him and then move on. And then you got the Pelicans Golden State game, which after looking at all these games, not like too many appealing games. Like this Brooklyn Houston game should be pretty solid. And then, not a whole lot besides the Pelicans Golden State game. So those are the 2 games that I'm really liking. So I really like the Golden State New Orleans game. The problem with the Golden State New Orleans game, not really 2 game stackable. Everyone's priced up a bit. So it would be kind of hard to get a lot of pieces in that game. But Steph Curry, 10K. The spread, I believe, is only 8 points. So, the Pelicans should keep this one close. So again, that's always good for those Golden State starters. One that can be projected for a pretty solid game and a great matchup here. Pelicans play very little defense, so obviously I'm going to try to get a lot of exposure to this game. And Donovan Mitchell here at 9.1K, been running the point, been playing really solid here. He's going to play most of the game, so I'm not going to talk you off him. I really like that he does run the point guard, obviously. Playing his playing his best basketball of the year right now. So Donovan Mitchell, I think, is pretty solid play. Lillard, Terry Stotts sometimes he'll just run the bench unit too much. Plus, there's the blowout risk where I'm kind of staying away. And then Toronto, Boston, I think it's kind of sneaky, but I'm probably going to stay away from it again too. Boston, with everyone healthy, kind of stay away. And Toronto, pretty solid defense. Boston, pretty solid defense. So I'm kind of staying away from that game. Drew Holiday at 8.2. This game should stay close. You should play around 40 minutes. And a great matchup here. So I do like Drew. D'Angelo Russell, I liked him a lot. I didn't end up making my final lineup. Kind of bit me in the ass the other night. But if Shabazz Napier misses again, that just guarantees the minutes. So the issue with Russell is the Nets do like running a deep rotation. They'll run the hot hand. So if he's not shooting the ball well, you know, they have other guys that can play. But if Napier misses again, which actually I'm not sure what's the status in Napier. So this is questionable. If he misses again, that would lock in minutes for D'Angelo Russell, where you wouldn't. I don't think you would really have to be concerned about him not playing. So I know the price came up a bit, but he has huge upside. So I definitely like him in GPPs. Let's see, Derek White, Bryn Forbes. Derek White's been playing great basketball, but Rudy Gay projected back, so I'm probably going to stay away. He is priced all the way up now to 5.8K. If Rudy Gay misses, I think you could look to Derek White, but if Rudy Gay plays, I'll probably look elsewhere. Then Alfred Payton, an up-tempo game. I just wish they'd play this guy some more minutes, but at 5.7K, I think he has huge upside, and we've seen him put up some pretty big numbers in limited time. So I do like Alfred Payton here at 5.7K. Let's see, Dinwiddie, just been, after he got that big contract, he's not really been playing the best basketball here of late, which is kind of a good thing too for D'Angelo Russell. So maybe you could do the buy low on Dinwiddie for GPPs, but I'm probably going to look elsewhere. Smart will be, so I guess he is the one Celtic that could miss. If he misses, I guess you could look to Rozier or Jaylen Brown, but both those guys are priced up at big games where I'll probably pass. Van Fleet currently listed as questionable, so if he does miss, you could look to DeLon Wright, but again, they kind of priced him up here to 4.3K. I'll pass probably on that as well. Brunson, with no JJ Berry out of the picture, if Dennis Smith Jr. misses, then Brunson I think will be a pretty solid play here, 4.4K. Did play 30 minutes, so I think they want to give this guy some pretty solid minutes. But if Dennis Smith Jr. plays, I'll probably look elsewhere. And cheap guards, nothing really here of interest. Okay, let's move on to the shooting guard position. And Doncic here at 8.4K. If Dennis Smith Jr. misses again, he's going to be locked into 35 or so minutes. Spurs, they're not the same defensive team as they have been in the past. So I would like Doncic here. I think I'll go kind of low owned at 8.4K. Let's see. Shooting guards. There's not a whole lot to like here. Really, where's Eric Gordon here? Eric Gordon, if he plays, you'll list as questionable, but maybe they would limit him. We're going to have to kind of wait. If he does play, that would limit Harden a bit too. Eric Gordon is a pretty solid offensive player. So that would be a slight downgrade to James Harden. Other than that, maybe you could take a shot at Etuan Moore, but too scoring dependent for my liking. There's not a whole lot. All right, so let's move on to small forward. Giannis, difficult matchup against Memphis. Again, I think Giannis is going to go under-owned like he did tonight. So if you want to play the ownership aspect, I wouldn't mind it in GPPs. KD, again, this game should stay close. So I think you could target some of these Warriors. I like this game a lot as a game stack. Tobias and Gallinari are okay, but Utah, pretty solid defensive team. Aaron Gordon been playing some good basketball. The price is coming up a bit. He's too inconsistent for my liking, so I'll probably pass. So Joe Ingles. Okay. So maybe he does miss. If he misses, then you could look to Royce O'Neal, Jay Crowder, guys like that. Let's see. Cheap guy. I mean, Jaylen Brown. I guess the price didn't come up in him too much. So if Marcus Smart misses, it'll probably be Jaylen Brown that picks up the start of the two. So I guess you could go back to the ball there. Then Royce O'Neal again. I would have interest in if Ingles misses. Even with Ingles, Royce O'Neal's still going to play. some solid minutes. Did kind of have an off game, didn't shoot the ball at all. But we've seen what he's done the last couple games, 2 games before that. I think he's okay. All right, let's move on to the power forward position. So Anthony Davis at the top. Playing him, you're gonna have high blood pressure. This guy goes to the locker room basically every night. I think he went to the locker room honestly last game against the Clippers. But huge upside. Sunners have been destroying Golden State. Boogie Cousins not going to be back just yet. I think he's projected to be back Friday. So Anthony Davis, I like him a lot at 11.8. See Randall, 7.5. They seem to want to give him some pretty solid minutes here, even with Mirotic back. So I do like Randall as well here at 7.5. Montrez, I liked him a lot against the Pelicans. Utah, we got a pretty solid defensive team. Rudy Gobert, pretty big center, so I don't know if Montrez really matched up against him too well. So I'll probably pass. Let's see. So Jaren Jackson Jr., 5.6. I would like a lot if Marc Gasol misses. Marc Gasol currently listed as questionable. So where's Marc Gasol here? Marc Gasol currently listed questionable. So you could look to Jaren Jackson Jr. And as gross as this sounds, you could look to honestly Joakim Noah if he picks up the start. So we're gonna have to kind of wait for news there. But I think if Gasol gets ruled out, my number one target would be Jaren Jackson Jr. I know he's very inconsistent, kind of getting foul trouble, but I think he'd have some pretty solid upside there. And Mirotic, I guess you could do a buy low here. Only played 17 minutes. But this guy, if he gets hot, he can put up huge numbers at 5.5K. I think you could take a shot there in GPPs. JaMychal Green will get a boost if Marc Gasol does miss. So, again, we'll wait for news on that. Let's see. Looney, Pelicans do play big. So, again, Boogie Cousins not going to be back just yet. So, I think Looney could be a pretty solid value play there at 4.1. All right, let's move on to the center position. And Vucevic here at 8.9. Mo Bamba currently listed as doubtful. So Vucevic, should play a few extra minutes here. I'm not afraid of Drummond on the defensive end. So I think Vucevic is going to go very low owned today. But I think he has some solid upside there at 8.9K. Gobert, again, centers have been destroying the Clippers. So I think you could definitely take a shot on Gobert at 8.5. The thing is, he is priced up. I don't really like paying premiums for guys. Nurkic, I'm just too scared of the blowout. Capella, obviously, I'll talk about the Houston Bigs in a second. Let's see. Draymond Green, I do like a lot here at 6.4. Again, the game should stay close. Not a lot of defense should be played this game, so I want to try to get as much exposure to this game as possible. And Tristan Thompson, if you can project the game to stay close, look what happened when it was a close game against the Lakers, put up 40 fantasy points. But again, there is some blowout risk, so I'm probably not going to go there. Let's see, Jarrett Allen, the minutes have kind of been up and down, but with Clint Capella out of there, he could have a pretty solid game, going against the likes of Gary Clark, Nene, Marquise Chris, Hartstein. So I think Jarrett Allen, pretty solid GPP play. Ante Zizic here at 3.7. If the game blows out, would get some extra minutes. We've seen both these games are blowouts. We played 20 and 24 minutes. So in a game where Portland honestly should blow out the Cavs, I think you could play that aspect and maybe take a shot in Zizic. Only for GPPs though. Bamba again here, unlikely to play. So you could look to Kem Birch. Not going to play as many minutes as Bamba, but 17, 18, 13 minutes. He's been kind of productive. Close to minimum price. I think it's worth a look. And then finally, let's get into these Houston bigs. So, really thought last game that they would split the big minutes between Nene, Chris, and Hartstein. But they ended up giving Gary Clark a lot of minutes here at 3.4K. So the whole situation is a mess right now. But I think, I mean, you could take a shot on a couple of these guys. It's just, oh, man, it's kind of gross. All of them are like minimum price, though. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll wait for a starting lineup, but right now it's kind of hard to decipher, how Houston's going to do their big rotation. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. So again, I really like this last game, the Pelicans and the Warriors. I guess there is some blowout risk. The Golden State does blow out the Pelicans since it's at Golden State, but they are playing the back-to-back, so that's kind of my mindset of, maybe they'll be a little tired, so the Pelicans can keep this close. And then, there is some blowout risk here. Utah and the Clippers. Clippers side, I'm probably not targeting anyone. Utah side, Donovan Mitchell, and then, maybe Royce O'Neal or Jay Crowder if Joe Ingles does miss. Cleveland, Portland. Again, I'm probably staying away. I'm too scared of the blowout. San Antonio and Dallas. You could look to Doncic, Jalen Brunson if Dennis Smith Jr. does miss. Brooklyn, Houston. Again, this game is probably the second most stackable game. Harden, obviously. Eric Gordon possibly plays. If Eric Gordon plays, downgrade Harden a bit. And then maybe you could target one of those Houston value bigs. That's kind of be a headache. And then on the Brooklyn side, D'Angelo Russell, I do like a lot, as well as Jarrett Allen as like a GPP play. Toronto, Boston, I think is going to go pretty low owned. Two pretty solid defensive teams, but you never know. We have seen, Toronto and Boston get into, some shootouts. Milwaukee, Memphis, again, not a whole lot I'm liking here. If Marc Gasol misses, Jaren Jackson Jr. would be a pretty solid play, and then maybe, JaMychal Green, possibly Joakim Noah, as gross as that sounds. Then finally, Orlando, Detroit. Vucevic, I think, is very low owned. So that would probably be my only target. Maybe Kem Birch is a value play. On the Detroit side, not a whole lot. I guess Drummond or Blake would be okay. So that's kind of my thoughts on those games for Wednesday. So if you guys have been enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. It's always important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I'll get my thoughts and more news comes out throughout the day. And yeah, I'll be back for another video on Thursday, so I will see you guys then.